Hi everybody, this is Kevin and welcome back to another manga review. And today we're going to be taking a look at Fairy Tail Volume 59 from Hiro Mashima, which is the continuation of the final arc. And man, things are finally heating up as if they weren't already hot enough. But I mean, holy crap, look at this cover first and foremost. We have Gray and Natsu going head to head, and that's kind of how the last volume ended. A very tragic battle where Invel had his ice chain around the neck of Gray and Juvia and said, you know, you're under my spell, you will fight to the death. And of course, the two of them couldn't do it, so they ended up stabbing each other. And Juvia, in a last-ditch effort, transferred her blood over to Gray so Gray would live on. And we thought Juvia had died, but of course, just as Gray had stormed off to kill Invel, Wendy showed up to heal Juvia. So Juvia's still alive, and right before Gray killed Invel, he learned the truth about Natsu, how Natsu is really END, Aetherius Natsu Dragneel. So that's who he's seeking his revenge on, to avenge Juvia. And oh my god, the two brothers here going head to head in a very emotional battle. So we also had the Universe 1 spell. Irene had cast that and shifted the entire continent, basically terraformed it, so everyone was separated. But eventually our heroes converged on the battlefield yet again, and we saw the return of Guildarts. So lots of cool stuff, and also the return of Zira, well, her spirit anyway, helping Gajia and the others reunite. So let's get right to this. I gotta love this too, right? So you have the cover of Natsu and Gray, and then as you open it, you get Natsu and Gray being best friends. So I think you guys know how it's gonna turn out, but still, either way. So what happened here is we have Natsu and Lucy going up against Brandish. Happy's there as well. And Brandish had told Natsu and Lucy to get going because, you know, Brandish and Lucy have history together with their mothers, and they become friends again. But in the aftermath of almost killing August, Brandish is really pissed, and threatening Lucy here, what she decides to do is make Natsu's anti-ether nanner tumor grow again. So, you know, Natsu was in a lot of pain earlier, and Brandish, using her magic abilities, was able to shrink it. But now that it's grown, Natsu's gasping for air and seemingly going to die. So what happens is Lucy says, fine, I'll take you on. If I defeat you, you'll turn Natsu back to normal, right? And Brandish is like, well, there's no chance. You can't defeat me. And we get this awesome pose of Lucy in her Taurus outfit, all battered and bruised, but ready to stand and fight for Natsu. You gotta love it. And we get a Lucy kick! Holy crap, look at the booba action. But Brandish isn't messing around. And Brandish can seemingly win, you know, just by shrinking Lucy and stomping on her, or growing really big and doing the same thing. So Lucy is improvising, does open gate of the Scorpion Palace! Scorpio! And uses all her different star dresses here for her new abilities. There's Scorpio Saiyan Buster! Yeehaw! So you got that. And, you know, just as you'd expect, Brandish grows really big, ready to squash her. But Lucy also does the Cancer form, and she's got these two swords. And then we get another one of Aquarius! Aqua Mitoria! Damn. And then Scorpio, because Aquarius was his girlfriend. Yeah, Aquarius is my girlfriend. Look at her go. So Lucy's doing everything she can to fight for Natsu. Natsu's trying to get back up. And then we see Demaria. And Demaria says, oh, you're just playing with her, Randy. I know you don't have any intention of killing her. I'll show you. And then she does her teeth grinding, which is her ability to stop time. And she slashes Brandish. Look at that. Holy crap. Her own friend. And here she is with her foot right on Lucy's head. Your death won't be so quick, little girl. Look at this shot, might I add. So anyway, Irene is trying to get the fairy heart out of Mavis. That's the ultimate weapon for Zeref to kill Acnologia. And what happens is Zeref says, well, this Zeref says that he wants a moment alone with Mavis for one last word. When another Zeref appears, it's not me, it's an illusion. What is the meaning of this? And they figure out in the heat of battle, when they're all distracted, because Mavis uses illusion magic, was able to sneak out because Invel had died. And Invel's ice lock was around her neck as well. So she snuck out. So Mavis is making her way out, and Mest appears, offering her a hand, and they make their way back to the battlefield, where it cuts to all our heroes not doing too well. We have Jet and Droid here getting their asses kicked, and then Gajiel steps in. I'll take over from here. You two get out of here. Look at Gajiel go, man. You guys are my friends, right? And then Lily shows up, as well as Levy. And Levy kicks him in the face, because this was a few volumes ago, after we thought Gajiel had died against Bloodman. He had confessed his love to Levy, and Levy's like, you fool! How could you do that to me? Make me cry like that? You were supposed to take me back to the guild. Aw, so sweet. So then Zira showed, well, the spirit of Zira anyway, and they're like, what is this? And you see she's starting to disappear a little bit, and that's because Mavis is becoming more aware. So the whole point of having Zira was so that all our heroes can reunite again, and once Mavis becomes conscious, Zira will disappear. So we get a flashback to the two of them when they were best friends. You got to read Fairy Tail Zero, the prequel, to know about their backstory. But very tragic story between the two of them. And I'm glad she was able to appear in the main storyline for sure. So then it shows Lucy again, man. My goodness, Demaria's got her all tied up and ready to threaten her. And what she's gonna do, like, you know, she's gonna cut out her eyes and cut this and cut that and just torture Lucy. And then Porliuska, along with Evergreen, shows up and finds Brandish, who's injured. And it shows this scene as well with how she has Natsu tied up as well and threatening to chop his head off in front of Lucy. So, not looking good for our two main characters there, that's for sure. So, I'll leave it there. No comment. And Demaria takes Lucy's top off. Of course. What are you doing, you perv? Give it back. So, as Demaria continues to taunt Lucy, Lucy says, I'm not afraid of you. If you're going to do it, just do it already. I'm not afraid. And you see, Demaria, you little witch, when I'm done with you, no one will be able to tell who you are. Natsu! And then all of a sudden, you see Lucy lying on the ground with blood coming out of her eyes. And as she wakes up, she sees the complete carnage, and Natsu's not there. And Demaria lying there with her eyes awestruck, mouth wide open, just completely destroyed there. He was a monster! He's a monster! How could he move within my time? How could he have more power than a god? Only END could be that powerful. So, you know, we've been told for many, many volumes now that Natsu is END. Has he finally awakened his demon powers? And Porliuska comes back here. Happy's back here. I'm happy you're still alive. Oh! And Demaria starts talking about like the demonic powers in Natsu, how he's END. The only person who really knows that Natsu's END is Happy and I guess Gray at this point. And the ladies are making fun of Lucy. Are you really not wearing any clothes, you exhibitionist? What could Lucy do though? She was tied up. She couldn't help herself. But it cuts to Natsu, completely enraged. Zareth, where is Zareth? And he comes across Gray. And Natsu, look at him, man. Tells Gray to get out of his way. I didn't mean to rhyme there, but I did. And all Natsu can say is, I must kill Zareth. He has no rhyme or reason anymore. All he says is, get out of the way, I have to kill Zareth. And Gray says, how could you really be END? You're the one I've been looking for all along. You know, because Gray wants to avenge his father. So the two of them start fighting. The two best friends, the two brothers, really, fighting each other. So Lucy's going back out there to find Natsu and stop him and turn her back to normal. And she's got her new outfit. My favorite outfit of Lucy with the vest and the pigtails. And she's going out there to save the day. And then it also shows Wendy and Carla with Juvia trying to get Juvia reunited with Gray. Now, if the two lovers, Juvia and Lucy can find their way to their men, maybe they can stop them. And as Natsu's attacking, all he can think of is, Lucy lying there. And that's what made him snap. Lucy, why aren't you moving? Lucy, Lucy. He starts crying, and that's what made him go completely berserk here. So it cuts back over here to Urza with the Master and everyone else on the battlefield. And then Irene with her all-seeing eye saying that, you're through. You can't do it. But Mavis continuing to encourage them with her illusion. And lots of good stuff. So Irene, using her magic, has made her soldiers even stronger into the Berserker class. And not even Urza can stop them. So what happens is Makarov puts his hands together ready to use Fairy Law. And as he does that, he says, "My journey ends here." And Mavis is saying, "No, you mustn't. You can't do it." And, he says he has to do it because he has to protect his family here. And Fairy Law is a spell which hasn't been used in a while. I think the last time they used it was back on Sirius Island against Hades. Basically, it allows the caster to destroy any opponent he deems an enemy. However, the more enemies, the more it takes a toll on their bodies. So, as Makarov does it, he says, "I have no regrets. Take care of each other." And it shows everyone crying, from Urza to Warren to Macau to Wakaba to Mavis. They're all crying. And he casts Fairy Law, destroying pretty much all of the foot soldiers there. As the fight's going on, you even see the shocked look in Irene and August's face. And then this even puts a stop to Natsu and Gray's battle for a moment. We got Mira, Lucy, Juvia, Gajiel, even Gildarts. And Urza drops her sword and starts crying as Makarov is no more. So everyone starts crying, and Mavis remembers when she was actually the one to name Makarov. And really just a very emotional scene, man. I mean, even in the anime, too, with the music playing. Oh, my God. A truly emotional scene. But Loxus is there to console Mavis and say, we have to stand. It was a great sacrifice my grandfather made. We have to do all we can. And Urza goes down to bow to her master. And, it's just a sad moment. Right in the feels, man. This whole, ending arc, the final arc, so many feels and all these moments. It's crazy. So Natsu and Gray continue their assault on each other, beating the ever-living hell out of each other. And you see, Natsu has, these demonic arms now. So they're just going at it. Gray! Natsu! And as they're going to collide with each other right here for a final attack, well, it's going on a bit longer. Urza appears to block them with both her hands, and the one hand gets burned while the other hand freezes. And she starts crying, "How can you two be fighting each other? How can you do it?" And it shows flashback to how they all grew up with each other as brother and sister in a certain sense. And says, "Take a good look at the person before you. Is he an enemy or a friend?" And it shows the flashbacks of, Gray and Natsu roughhousing while Urza's like, "Calm down, you two." And she says, Makarov had died in the battle. And as she says that, their powers begin to disappear. And she hugs them. "I love both of you. I love you both from the bottom of my heart." And they both start crying as Urza's crying. And it's like, oh my God, man. And as Urza was able to calm them down, Gray hears, "Gray-sama, Juvia's all right." And Juvia's here. And Gray drops to his knees. And at the same time, they both pass out. And same thing with Natsu. He falls down and Lucy catches her. "Quit making people worry about you." Oh my God, everyone's back together. Oh no, I'm going to cry right now, guys. But anyway, Then it cuts over here to the Arashion Seis getting their ass kicked, with Jalal being the only one standing still against August. And August is known as the Wizard King and knows all magic and counteracts everyone, even the Arashion Seis, who we thought were very powerful, allies, getting their ass kicked. So, after all this, after all the tears, Irene appears before Urza. And they're like, who are you? And they make comments how, she has the red hair. And Irene says, I am you, and you are me. So again, it's showing more of our heroes on the battlefield, Minerva and Rogue. And along with Yukino and Sorano. And then they come across Larcade Dragneel, who uses light magic. And this magic here, which they mention in the back, let's see, is the comment here. Pure white, your souls will be free. And his magic essentially is making them feel like they're having sex. That's the way to put it. So it's interesting to see some of the characters who are being affected by it and some aren't. Like, let's see, let me say. There's Romeo. He's just a little boy, so he hasn't had sex yet. Basically, all the characters who aren't virgins aren't affected by this, which makes me question how the hell Kana is technically a virgin, and Gildarch is lying there because we know he's a player. I think he's the oldest member aside from Makarov in Fairy Tail. And very, very interesting ability there, and especially that it's affecting a character like that, like Sorno, in her outfit. So that's Arcade's power. And just as this is going on, Irene feels it and is like, Arcade, you must stop. You can't do this. Because then I can't fight. So, with Urza going up against Irene, Wendy's there to help her as well to use the protective and healing magic. And same thing with Zareth. He's telling Arcade to stop because it's also affecting their allies. And Yukino's like, what's happening? And that's where he says, my magic brings pleasure. Those who have sampled such pleasure cannot escape my magic. Do you have any inkling of what happens to humans when they are subjected to pleasure for so long? So, that's his magic. He explains it there. But that's actually, they're all getting orgasms, basically. And so Kagura shows up to the rescue. And it's just cool seeing all the different characters show up, protecting each other, and coming to the rescue to face their opponents, and all that. And then he reveals his name is Arcade Dragneel. And they're like, whoa, that's Natsu's last name. What's the meaning of that? So again, Kagura's not standing a chance against Arcade, and is trying to strike him down. But he stopped her blade with just his finger. Well, 2 fingers. But either way, he stops it, and then slashes her, and Kagura's lying there defeated. And not looking good, not looking good. So it ends right there with Arcade taunting, threatening to kill them all. August looking on, and then Mavis looking on as well. So, let's see, is there any stuff in the background here? Yeah, there's some, all that good stuff. So yeah, stay tuned for my next review of Volume 60. Can you guys believe that? We're already going to be on Volume 60. We're almost done. We're almost done with the series. But yeah, I very much enjoyed this volume. There is a lot of sexy shots. Let me tell you, Demaria in that skin suit, first of all. And then when Lucy was all tied up. Where was that? Oh my goodness, man. Let's see, yeah. Right there. So that's all I got for you guys. Let me know what you thought in the comments down below. And stay tuned for more videos, reviews, live streams, all sorts of other good stuff coming soon. So thanks, guys. Have a great day.